Hello, and welcome back to Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. I'm your host, Simon the Serpent. Well, after capturing these... While I was capturing these Sturgian fiefs over here, the Vlandians managed to capture Dunglanys. And they are now attacking the rebels of Car Banseth. My initial plan was to go south and attack my enemies in the Aserai territory. However, before I do that, I think I'm going to break the siege of Car Banseth and perhaps raid the villages attached to Dunglanys. Yes, I think I'll do that. After that, I will move south and attack these castles down here. I don't quite have the forces necessary to attack Car Banseth. Let's look at Dunglanys. Diane, Glenn, and Maury. There's Glenn, Maury, and Diane. Sometimes it's just better to give them shorter names. Anyway, I'll raid this village until the siege here begins and more reinforcements arrive. Seems we have another army joining in. Oh no. $1,400, 2,000. I'll wait till they're down to roughly 200 soldiers. I mean, that's 1,700. We might be able to win. King Erderand. Our numbers are roughly equal. No, the Vlandians have a slight advantage. I will break in. I lose 150 men, but I will go ahead with that. we have a victory. Thomund has died, whomever that is. You're my prisoner, as are you. And you, and you, and you.
You turned up just in time. I will not forget your...
Yes, you're welcome. You are also welcome. I will take those. Anyway, now that that's done, I will cut away here and come back in just a moment once I sell my items. See you then. Alright, I'm back. Well, I sold my prisoners and items in Car Banseth, and now I'm going to the village of Diane and Mori to raid them. This will decrease the relation Dunglanys has with its current overlord. Good price for grapes. I suppose I'll chase down that army that's fleeing from me. 7 hours. Good enough.
Yours is not a...
Well, surrender a die, yield a fight, and we defeat them. You're my prisoner, as are you, and you. Alright, now that that's done, I'll sell my prisoners at Car Banseth again, and perhaps do some trading in Marunath and head down to the Aserai territory and take out these castles down here. Possibly these ones too. Anyway, I will come back to you all a bit later. See you then. Ah, there you are. Well, as I was travelling to besiege Quyaz, my wife of many years, Debana, has died in childbirth. She died at the age of 40. It was honestly surprising that she could have a child at the age of 40. But that is that. She has given me little Elea. Already clever and calculating and at a young age. I've already created a new party. And now I shall go and besiege Quyaz. They have such a low garrison because they recently rebelled against the Northern Empire, and the Northern Empire took it back. I think once my catapult is ready, I shall attack Quyaz. Once my battering ram is ready, that's what I mean. And of course their artillery is taken out along the walls. Send in the soldiers. And we have our victory. I suppose I shall pillage it. Anyway, I will cut away here and come back in a moment. See you then. Okay, we are back. Well, not long after the death of my wife and taking Quyaz, the lord of these two towns, rebelled against me, though I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. After taking the town of Omor, I went into the dungeon and recruited the Karakhergit clan. When you recruit them from the dungeons, I find they react as a vassal in your service. I had a good experience with the Legion of the Betrayed, who's been faithfully holding Jalmeris and Amititas. So when it came up for election for Omor and Diathma, I provided them with these two towns, as they were in the majority. And of course they switched their allegiance to the Sturgians, and it would seem that Grand Prince Ragnvad has taken these two towns for himself. Not surprising, I suppose. Which leads me to suspect the allegiance of the Legion of the Betrayed may be less than ideal. But for now, I will deal with the castles in the south and deal with the Legion later. Anyway, let's attack these castles here. I attempted to convince the Lord of Ukba and Ainbalik Castle to join me. Unfortunately, he was happy with his current liege. So, I shall take them by storm. 700 defenders. I can take it. I also took a mission to ambush some bandits when they ambushed a caravan, which is why I have some of those prisoners. Alright, that should be sufficient. pillage it. Ah. I suppose I want a Mitatas. It would seem that the Legion of the Betrayed has left the Golden Serpent Kingdom, but has kindly returned its fiefs. Very good of them. Anyway, I'll cut away here and come back in a moment. See you then. Okay, we are back. I disbanded a few lords, summoned a few others, and now we shall attack Ain Balik Castle. And who shall receive Jal Maris? I believe this one is a Sturgeon. This one has only one fief, so why not? If there were an Imperial in the choice, I would have chosen him regardless of how many fiefs he had. Oh well. Alright, move along. At his 14th birthday, you gave Ergion a special present. You have seen him treasure it and believe it will shape who he is. You gave him a finely carved game board. Each piece is a work of art. Even without an opponent, one could set it up and gaze upon it for hours, contemplating moves and counter-moves. In adolescence, he began to take on serious responsibilities and compete with adults. As a near equal, he managed to trade like a veteran merchant. Your child asked to borrow money to trade with a passing caravan. You figured he'd be sharped and learn a lesson. But in fact, the boy secured a very lucrative deal. Outside events also intruded on Ergion's adolescence. You believe he was particularly shaped by an outbreak of unrest. This event increased his leadership and charm. After a particularly hard winter, your tenants began to murmur about rising up and seizing your granaries. Ergion convinced them to be patient and wait for relief. You did well, my son. should do it, I think.
I give up. You fought well. There is no call for further bloodshed.
Yes, well, you're my prisoner. As are the rest of them. I will pillage it. And I will manage the garrison and the castle. I will come back to you at the settlement at the castle further to the north. See you then. Okay, we are back after managing the garrison of Ain Balak. A Vlandian army has decided to attack Quyaz. After defeating them, I shall then move against Tublis. Anyway, let's get started. Send in our soldiers. You're my prisoner, as are you, and all these.
I'll...
I'm
This is a good way to increase your roguery skill by taking your companions prisoners. Just before the gates of the city you're entering. Now we'll move on to Tublis. They have almost 400 defenders. I think that will be sufficient. Now, send in the soldiers. And we have a victory.
Enough. You win today, you dog.
And like that, 2 bliss is ours. Anyway, I'm going to cut away here and come back a bit later. See you then. Okay, we are back. Well, after taking 2 bliss and Quyaz, well, as I was fighting in the desert in the south, the Vlandians managed to take Jalmaris, unfortunately. However, our forces have retaken Diathma. Currently, we have a Western Empire army besieging this and 2 Vlandian armies attacking Amitatas. There are not many defenders left. Fortunately, I made it here in time, and I want to keep my fief. So, I shall now attack the enemies. We have the advantage.
We are at your...
I was hoping that Car Banseth would have distracted them longer, but it would seem not. Thorios has a few defenders left.
I'm your...
I also purchased a silversmith here in Amitatas. I'm going to put some of this silver ore in here. Good price for oil. Perhaps I should wait for a caravan. No, it's fine. I like to mark the ones above 500, that way the cheaper goods go quickly. And if there's a little extra, well, then I can do this. And now we'll attack this one. I should have waited for the caravan. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh. And we have our victory. And with that, we've saved Thorios and Emitatas. Anyway, I think this video has been going on long enough. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. See you then.